Hey, what's going on, everyone? Go Blue. That game was, man, I don't know what to say about that game. Let me see. Let me make sure I can see myself here. I'm going to play the intro. I'm going to give my thoughts. And if other folks come through, then folks can come up and say what they thought. Um, yeah, that was a bit of a roller coaster ride. Let me see. Yeah, I'm live there. Get rid of this ad. All right. I'll see you on the other side of the introduction. Let's go, Blue. Hey, what's going on, everyone? And welcome back to Big Discussions 76 Sports. I'm not going to do all of the pleasantries and platitudes. I'm just going to give my post game reaction. So the Michigan Wolverines just defeated the Northwestern Wildcats 24-22 at Wrigley Field. I'm going to admit that after a certain point, when Bryce threw the first pick, and then the second pick late in that game, I thought the game was over. But I think, yeah, this game was a mixture of things, and I think, yeah, as well as Northwestern played defensively, I think offensively they were limited. Michigan had several unforced errors, several shots in the foot again. I really liked how Michigan started the game. Uh, I'm gonna pin the link to the chat here as folks come through. They can come up. Okay, that link is pinned to the chat. If anyone wants to come up and say something, let's see, EZJ9792. I think you're probably a Buckeye fan. And hey, you're right. You're right. The reckoning is coming. This team, there are two ways you can look at this. You can look at this and say, okay, this team is young. It keeps shooting itself in the foot. You could also say this team keeps finding a way to win. Okay, but the multiple self-inflicted wounds that the team sustained today, uh, you know, unless the defense plays a lights out game on the 29th, that won't get it done against Ohio. John Stoops, thank you for stopping through. He says, "Go Blue." He says, "Anytime, anytime you turn it over 5 times and win, it's a good day." John Stoops, that sounds an awful lot like any landing you walk away from was a good one. So even if you crash into the ground and you walk away, it was still a good landing. So yeah, there are multiple ways you can look at this. But yeah, I really liked the way Michigan looked on that first drive. If not for that holding call, they would have capped it off. They would have capped it off with a touchdown and went up 7-zip. And Michigan going into halftime, I was texting with Marmar. Michigan should have been up 17, maybe 21-3 at halftime. But the errors, the missed field goals, all of those things left the door open for Northwestern to have life, just as was the case with Purdue. I'm going to read some more of your comments here. Easy J9279 9727 says, why does Samaj Morgan play that? Okay. I love Samaj. I really love what he gave us during the national championship season, but that was a costly turnover. That yeah that yeah that was a costly turnover. Samaj was fielding the punts, calling fair catches the entire day, and it seems as though on that particular play, Samaj was determined to try to make a play and get as much yardage as he could on that return, and he got the ball stripped. So that led to the comedy of errors, particularly in that second half. So I don't know what they told that kid. I don't know what he was thinking, but it might be time to relieve him of that duty. All right, let's see. Let me read some more of your comments here. Why does Samaj Morgan play? John Stoop says Bryce looked good at the first half. The second half, wow, I didn't see that coming. Well, John Stoops. It's a game of momentum, and it's a game of if this happens, then this happens. If this happens, then this happens. And the kid started well, but the door was left open for Northwestern to have life. We left them a pulse. Now those Northwestern kids, they were playing hard. You could see it. They were really hitting everything. But yeah, you leave a team life like that. You leave them a pulse, and they're going to hang around, and they're going to be there right at the end, which is what we saw today. Thank you for the comments, guys. Easy J 9727 says, does Sharon Moore have a brain in his head? What is his deal? The other big thing, they were just talking about this on Mace Madman's channel. The other thing, aside from the turnovers, well, this led to a turnover, some of the offensive play calling. Northwestern was playing very, very aggressively, and on those trick plays, those multiple reverses, those toss sweeps, whatever those were, Northwestern was right there in the backfield. So that on that Andrew Marsh fumble, I really don't understand what they were trying to do there. I would have just handed the ball off to Jordan Marshall, and he was having success on the ground. The offense was having success in general, and I really don't know why. We'll say why Chip Lindsey felt the need to call that. It's not necessary, and it almost cost us the game. John Stoop says, easy, not sure you can blame Coach Moore. Easy 9727 says he coaches terribly every game, dude. Says it's every game. John Stoop says Morgan was down horrible replay. Okay. And then he says he almost gave Northwestern another possession at the end too. He always mismanages his timeouts. I thought on that last drive leading up to the Dominic Zavada field goal, I thought it was clear what the team needed to do. Get into field goal range, get as close as you could for Dominic Zavada, who missed 2 prior field goals and tried to escape with the win. So I saw was Sharon Moore take the clock down to 2 seconds. He called the timeout, and that way, if Zavada made it, Northwestern didn't have any time left to do anything else. So I don't know, Easy J 9727. I thought Sharon managed the clock adequately down the stretch of the game. Okay, I mean, with us turning the ball over twice, and with us somehow getting the ball back to be in position for that game-winning field goal. But in all honesty, we should have never been in that position. We should have been up by 17 points. We should have been up by 20 points, 21 points. The game shouldn't have been that close in the last seconds, in the second half, period. So I wonder how the AP is going to reward Michigan now. I mean, I mean, do you reward Michigan by putting them in the top 15? Do you keep Michigan right there at 16 and 17? I don't know. And what does the College Football Playoff Committee look at this and think? Now, I think another key piece of what happened, and I think this was before Bryce threw that second pick, that first pick. I think Jordan Marshall went out with his shoulder before that first pick. So when Jordan Marshall goes out, now you're putting the game squarely on the shoulders of Bryce Underwood, which none of us would have liked in that environment. And you see what happened. So I thought that was a major event / turning point in the game. Shout out to Bryson Kudzall for getting in there. The kid, I was afraid when Jordan Marshall went out, and I was thinking, okay, Bryce and Kudzall had the fumble there at the handoff. I thought the game was over there, but the Kudzall kid, he ran pretty good. I thought the Kudzall kid, when he got in there and he got his opportunity, I thought he ran aggressively. And shout out to the offensive line, because when those run plays were called, they were moving those Northwestern bodies around. And yeah, you could, if you're going to give an MVP in this game, well, I would give it to the defense, the offensive line, and the running backs. Okay, hopefully we get Jordan Marshall back. Maybe it, apparently Sharon Moore said it wasn't that bad, but the kid was walking around like this and not moving his arm. So we don't know what that is, but hopefully he comes back and is ready for the Ohio State game, because I think if Jordan Marshall stayed healthy and Jordan Marshall was in for all of the second half, I think Michigan probably wins the game going away, because you're not leaning so heavily on Bryce Underwood. I'm going to read some more comments here. Yeah, this is a good point. John Stoops. Yep, the officiating crew missed this one. I was a little bit concerned that on that clutch, beautiful catch Andrew Marsh made going out of bounds, he secured it, but when he went down, you could see the ball bounce off the turf a little bit. I was concerned that the officiating crew might overturn that one, but it was a beautiful catch, and salute to the officiating crew for not overturning that one. Please smash that like button. If you haven't, keep letting me know what you think here. The link is pinned there to the chat. I'm surprised none of the usual suspects have shown up to join me here on the panel. Yeah, EZJ, I can't even say it. I'm not used to seeing your name. EZJ9727. Yeah, I think Marsh played a really good game aside from that fumble on that reverse play. But I think that play should never have been called. But yeah, Bryce, you could tell Bryce, the strategy was to go to Andrew Marsh early and often, and they did that. And he had a really, really great game. So, Snowman, the link is pinned there to the chat. If you want to come up and say a few words, it looks like you're gonna go down the Michigan got lucky route. There was luck involved. I think that Northwestern, in terms of they don't have the most potent offense. So while Michigan gave them chances, they didn't have the greatest offense. All right, so the Snowman's coming up. He might be pounding the Michigan got lucky drum guys, so I can't promise that he's gonna say anything that's gonna soothe your soul. But he is a Chicago, Indiana guy. So here we go. Let's welcome the Snowman.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Hello, Snowman.
The one stat that I'll give you was at halftime when Michigan outgained Northwestern 215 to 106, and it was only a 7-6 game at that point. I figured at that point Michigan would just pick it up and run away. But when you hand Northwestern chance after chance after chance to steal that game, and fortunately for Michigan, they did win it. They were flirting with fire all day. 2 missed field goals would put the game out of reach first and foremost. You don't commit those 2 turnovers, and it's a 40-point game for Michigan. I say Michigan got lucky in a humorous sense, but it was a hard-hitting game for both teams. Michigan, I think it was at the start of the second half that Michigan realized they were in a fight because even though Northwestern got outgained all day long, Northwestern at times was beating them up and letting them know they were letting them know they were there, and they nearly scored. They nearly scored the upset.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah, you could say Michigan is lucky. Yeah, Michigan is lucky on the road. 2 missed field goals, the penalties, the turnovers, the fumble. If Northwestern had a more potent offense, then you're probably looking at a Northwestern win, especially since they got the ball back right after halftime. But I think that they played hard, but their offense was limited. Um, they didn't get much of their own running game going, which was something I was looking for. I don't know if uh, if their O line and their backs just aren't as talented, but certainly I was looking for them to get more pop back there, and they didn't get it. If they did, that would have changed the complexion of the game. Um, but yeah, you could say Michigan definitely got lucky here.
Well, I like I said, I say that in humor, but
Oh,
Michigan will realize been in a dogfight. They've been in an absolute dogfight because they had no business struggling with Northwestern, which you said very factually didn't have a potent offense. If they have a if they have a more potent offense, then and use the first to score 30 points, and then you walks away with a win. There's a lot for Michigan to take from this game heading into Ohio State, and they better take every lesson possible.
yeah. Now, Snowman, I will say some of the uh, bigger Michigan channels and coaches and former players leading up to this game, they did say, okay, Northwestern plays hard and they play physical. Okay, so there were
Hmm.
some individuals who called that a couple of weeks ago. So I really hadn't watched them probably as much as you have, but some folks did speculate that this would be a physical game. But go ahead.
And you kept it close, but in this is their third straight loss. But what Michigan does not have that USC had and Nebraska had, speed. Lots and lots of speed, especially with USC.
Okay, are those did Northwestern? It sounds like they had USC on their schedule.
Yeah, they did 2 weeks ago.
Okay, yeah, the Makai Lemon kid. Yeah, he was the Makai Lemon, the King Miller kid. Yeah, they burned us earlier this year too.
Yeah.
I'm going to read some of the comments here. Yeah, I think Easy J9727. I think you're a Buckeye because you're saying if you guys didn't get that last third and four, you would have given Northwestern the ball back with a chance to win with like 50 seconds. Yeah, I mean there was. I thought personally, I thought the game was over when Bryce threw that first interception. Yeah, I was pretty much like, okay, we were up. Now Northwestern scored this go-ahead touchdown. This is just going to be a complete collapse. So I'm still surprised that Michigan came back and won that game. He says that is what I'm referring to with the mismanagement of the timeouts. John Stoop says Bryce missed an open guy down the middle of the field on his last interception. I don't know. Okay, Northwestern was playing quarters. Their safeties were playing quarters. So and Bryce was hitting the run pass option all day. And Joe Clack commented that you have to look and see what the safety is doing. And he didn't look and see where the safety was, and the safety was right there, and he tried to throw it. I think you're thinking. I think McCulley was open behind the safety, but Bryce was trying to throw the run pass option. So I agree. He says John Stoops says I also think Michigan gets moved up after today. Number 3 A&M was losing bad, but came back. They won't drop.
Okay.
No,
A&M had no business winning that game against South Carolina, down 30-3 at the half, and they won on a walk-off, 31-30.
Okay. EasyJ9727 says, "Yeah, that was an incredible catch by Marsh." Marsh had a career day. So, and I was concerned that Northwestern would look and say, okay, well, Bryce keeps throwing to this guy, so let's take him away. I think Northwestern did adjust later on in the game, but certainly Andrew Marsh did have a career day as a true freshman. Marsh. John Stoop says, yes, on the Marsh catch, I was worried too. Yep, it did slightly hit the turf when he went out of bounds. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. There was luck involved. You guys absolutely should have lost that game. But that's sports, Snowman. You know that's sports. If Kawhi Leonard hits that free throw, there's no Ray Allen 3-pointer against
Correct.
Spurs. It's just, that's the nature of sports.
Mm-hmm. You had to mention Kawhi Leonard. Doggone it.
Okay. No, let's keep this on college football. Don Stoops says the hardest hitting team Michigan has faced. Good lessons were learned. Still a W on to Maryland. Yeah, I think that's a good thing, especially for our young quarterback. Started strong. Faced a lot of adversity in the second half. He still got to go back out and put the team in position for that field goal. So this is a good experience for him. I don't know. Yeah, we're gonna need our number 1B running back to have a chance against Ohio State. So hopefully Jordan comes back. Snowman, which team have you been following most of the season? Are you been following Northwestern and Notre Dame?
I've been following a few teams this year. Northwestern, Notre Dame, and Indiana are my main three, especially Indiana. Indiana's been something else all year, but Indiana also has the blessing that they don't have to see Michigan and they don't have to see Ohio State.
It looks like they'll see them in the championship game, and I'm looking
forward. They will see Ohio State if all plays out the way it plays out. Ohio State and Indiana will be for the Big Ten championship in Indianapolis, and I'm going to try to score a press pass to be there for that. If not, I'll call the game here. I'll call the game here at home. But yeah, the mystery team in the Big Ten this year is Indiana. And now everybody knows what Indiana is about since they went to Oregon and scored that road win and did it by double digits.
Okay. Have you ever been down to Lucas Oil?
Yes, I have.
Okay. I went in there once in 2022 when Michigan played Purdue in the Big Ten championship game. So it's an impressive facility. Let's see. So they were in a dogfight when they threw the 2 picks, my guy. Okay. Yeah, it was a game. It was a game at that point. They lived and died on third down the entire game, it seemed. Thank you guys for commenting here. The easy part of the strategy, Michigan isn't gonna show its playbook for OSU. John, I get that Michigan tends to hold stuff back for OSU, but they have to put a complete game together. They have to control the stuff they can control, and not shoot themselves in the foot, not fumble the ball on punt returns, not Yeah, yeah. Because Ohio State's not gonna is not gonna. We might stop them 3 times in that game. We might, but otherwise, saying and Jeremiah Smith are that good where he's gonna be
Man, that's
pushing
a
the ball down the
pair
field.
you need to that's a pair you need to worry about. Julian Sand and Jeremiah Smith. Yikes.
Yeah, yeah. John Soup says, yeah, Easy is definitely a Buckeye. Shout out to the Buckeye fans who watched my little clip of Marmar. He's a guy who comes on with me regularly. He was talking. They didn't like what he said in that video, but they're going to come back and rub it in if they blast us in 2 weeks. So
Of
I
course.
expect
Of course.
that. Snowman, how many times have you been inside Wrigley Field?
How many times have I been inside Wrigley Field? A few. I've watched a game and I have called a game at Wrigley Field.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the Cubs game there in '98 when they played the Montreal Expos, and then 9 years later did the Chicago Public League Championship at Wrigley Field. So I've seen the old house.
Okay. I'm going to go through some more of these comments, and then we can take a look at some of the scores before I wrap up. It says Bryce is good, but he doesn't know what he's looking at yet. He's incredibly talented, but isn't comfortable or consistent. He has good and bad plays. Yeah, he made some really good plays with his legs. He was able to wiggle through and get a couple of first downs with his legs, which is needed when you have this situation here.
Yeah, he was doing that a lot in the first half. He was converting third downs with his legs, especially on their lone scoring drive. They should have had at least 3 scoring drives in that first half. Talking about Michigan with the way Robinson was running, but that Northwestern defense stiffened up when they needed to and held them to 7 points in the first half.
Yeah. John Stoop says, I'm holding out hope Michigan beats OSU so Indiana won't face OSU in the Big Ten championship. My son and I will be at the game. Michigan has never lost when I've attended. All right, John, maybe you're the good luck charm. So, I mean, I certainly didn't. I don't think any of us expected them to win last season. I certainly was hoping that Michigan would just
I'm one of
make it
them. I certainly
No,
didn't see that one coming.
no. So stranger things have happened. The team. I mean, both sides step up for that game. So, Easy 9727. Ohio State is routing you guys to win this week and next week, so we can knock you out of the playoff ourselves. You know what, Easy? That's a good point. I appreciate your comment. Michigan to have a hope to get in the playoff, assuming we take care of business next week against Florida. Michigan would have to at least make that game respectable. Okay, if you guys come in and completely destroy us, then yeah, there's no argument that we're one of the top 12 teams in the country. So I agree with
So
this.
it's in the big house this year, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
I've seen both places. I've seen the big house and I've seen the horseshoe.
Meaning you've gone inside. Yeah, I've never been inside the horseshoe.
I've been inside the horseshoe. And oddly enough, the only time I've been in the horseshoe was against you guys.
Really?
Against Michigan.
What year was
2002.
it? 2002. Okay. So that was the year they won it.
14-9.
14. Oh yeah, that would hurt. That would hurt.
The interception that sealed the game and set off a celebration in Columbus I have not seen because I lived in Columbus for a while.
Yeah. But they also called off the Braylon Edwards touchdown because they said he pushed off on Chris Gamble.
Yep.
And I was like, wait a minute, that touchdown would have won us the game. You know. But okay. So you were at that one. That was a classic.
I was there. I was there. Classic game at Ohio Stadium, and that was the first year that they expanded the stadium to over 100,000.
Okay. Okay. Easy J9727 says also Ohio State fans are currently freaking out because Carnell Tate
I don't know.
is scaring us right now. What is he hurt? I don't know if he's hurt. Snowman, you want to pump your channel really quickly or
YouTube.com/@Snowman Multimedia is where you guys can find me. I also got a second channel, Snowman_Sportsnet, for all my play-by-plays.
okay. I'm going to go over some of the game stats, then we can take a look at all the scores. Then I'll wrap up here. Let's see.
I can tell you one final score that shouldn't have
What's that?
happened, which was
What's that?
Texas A&M and South Carolina, because Texas A&M led 30-3 at the half, and South Carolina, I beg your pardon, South Carolina led 30-3 at the half, but Texas A&M in front of the 12th man won 31-30.
Okay. So South Carolina collapsed.
Yep, South Carolina collapsed. Other scores go like this. Oklahoma leads fourth-ranked Alabama 17-14. They're in the second quarter. Iowa leads USC 21-7. They're in the second quarter. Georgia Tech leads Boston College 14-7. And Texas Tech is all over UCF 28-2 is that score. Virginia up 10 on Duke 13-3. 15th ranked Miami leads North Carolina State 17-0. These are all second quarter scores in the top 25. Tennessee is beating New Mexico State in a fill-in game. That score is 14-0. You heard Indiana earlier scores from today in the top 25. Indiana blows out Wisconsin 31-7, and I also believe Notre Dame won earlier in the day, 37-15. Number 25 Cincinnati goes down to Arizona in a game that I picked on my show. I picked Arizona. They beat Cincinnati 30-24, and 24th ranked University of South Florida goes down to Navy 41-38. Those are your scores inside the top 25.
All right. Thank you for that, Snowman. All right. So Michigan defeated Northwestern 24-22. It was, yeah, I was going to say it was a miracle game, but it was, yeah. Anyway, Bryce Underwood went 21 for 32 for 280 yards and the two big interceptions. Jordan Marshall carried the ball 19 times for 142 yards and 2 touchdowns. Hopefully he's not done for the year. Andrew Marsh had a monster game, probably his best game as a Wolverine with 12 catches and 189 yards. For Northwestern, Preston Stone went 13 for 28 for 184 yards. And yeah, they didn't get much done on the ground. Joseph Hyman, the second, carried the ball 9 times for 31 yards. And Hunter Wilsling, was that his name? I thought it was Wildy.
Yeah.
The tall white kid. Yeah, he caught Wildy. Yeah, he caught 4 balls for 81 yards. Yeah, he had a pretty good game. I was expecting him to gash us some more. Bryson Cudzall, after Jordan Marshall went out with that shoulder injury, he carried the ball 16 times for 54 big yards. Behind Andrew Marsh, Donovan McCulley caught 4 balls for 59 yards. Let's see. Marlon Klein caught 1. Deacon Tonelli caught 1, which was deflected, could have been picked off. Bryce could have had 3 picks, but Tonelli caught that 1. Jordan Marshall caught 1, and Zach Marshall caught 2. In terms of the defense, I thought played a decent game, aside from the times that our defensive coordinator blitzed too much. Doesn't look like they were any sacks, but they certainly hurried the Preston Stone kid quite a bit. So it definitely made him uncomfortable. Against Julian Sayin, okay, you're going to have to really get in his face. Samaj Morgan on the punt return, he had 5. One of them he turned the ball over when he should have just went down or took a knee or waved it
Yep.
off. And they threw Marsh in there after that. Dominic Zavada went 1 for 3. He made the game winner. It's got to be tough being a kicker, man, especially after you've missed 2 and now you have the game winner. That's got to be a tough position to play.
Mhm.
Just gonna sprint through the Northwestern stats here. We already went over the court with what the quarterback did. Yeah, their running game, they didn't get anything really from their running game. Their leading receiver was the Wildy. Actually, no. There was Welsing and Wildy. Okay, so Wildy caught
Okay.
4 balls for 81 yards, and Wildy caught 2 for 51. And then the Elegant kid, Elegon, he caught 2 for 26. Braden Bruss did sack Bryce once. Carmen Bestone sacked him once, and Aiden Hubbard sacked him once. So they were getting pressure on our quarterback. Their kicker went 3 for 3. All of those, I think the majority of those field goals would not have been there if our offense had taken care of business. Okay.
Mhm.
And then looking at the team stats, this sometimes the team that this let's see the how does it go? The stats don't always tell the whole story, or should
Yep.
I say the final score that doesn't always tell the whole story.
Stats only tell half the story.
It only tell half the story. Yeah, because if you just looked at these, you would have thought Michigan won 42-10 or something. Okay.
Nope.
Michigan gained 496 total yards to Northwestern's 245. Michigan, of those 496 yards, 280 were in the air. For
Mhm.
Northwestern, they gained 184 in the air. Michigan had 216 rushing yards to Northwestern 61. We should have ran away with this game. Michigan had
Yeah.
6.4 yards per
Yeah.
play to Northwestern's 4.5. Michigan had 25 first downs to Northwestern's 11. Michigan was 9 for 14 for third down efficiency. Northwestern was 2 for 12. Not much difference for fourth down. Michigan ran 77 total plays to Northwestern's 54. Michigan allowed 3 sacks.
It was
Michigan
2-1 across the board. It
across the
was
board.
2-1 across the board.
Yeah, here it's 1-5 or 1-6 in terms of punts. Northwestern had 7 penalties for 67 yards to our 4 for 24. Here's the big
Mhm.
one: 3 fumbles lost, 2 interceptions. Okay,
Yeah.
there's the equalizer right there.
And that's
Michigan
why
held
it
the
was only a
ball.
2-point win.
Yeah, Michigan held the ball for 33 minutes and 3 seconds to Northwestern's 26 minutes and 44 seconds. So yeah, stats only tell of half of the story, and this could have easily ended with Northwestern on top. So 2 more games for the
Yeah.
Wolverines. They'll probably be bowl eligible if they don't get picked to be in the playoff. But on the regular season slate, it's Maryland and then Ohio. Snowman, do you have anything else?
That'll do it. I just wanted to come by and share my thoughts about this game. I always love chopping it up with you.
Okay, appreciate it. Appreciate it. I hope you and the family are good and you guys are headed towards an uneventful holiday season. You know,
Uneventful holiday.
well, it's a tough time of the year for a lot of people.
It
And
is, but it'll be eventful in a
family
great
drama
way.
sometimes. Yeah.
It'll be eventful in a great way for me because I have children and grandchildren. So
Oh, good for you.
I'm gonna be all over the place. But hey, same wishing a great holiday season to you too, my friend. Appreciate you.
Okay. I'll see you in the YouTube streets.
See ya.
Peace. All right, everyone. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. Easy J, I think we'll be hearing from you again in 2 weeks. He says, great win by Michigan. We all knew it would be a tough game, November 29th. All right. All right. Um, um, John Stoops says 0-5 in 2025. My initial plan, I live here in the Washington, D.C. area. So my plan initially was to go to the Maryland game, but I have to go take care of some family business so I will be watching the game on television, like most of you all. But I will plan to do a pregame show, and we will plan to do I'm sorry, I plan to do a postgame show, and we will plan to do the pregame show for Maryland this Wednesday in honor of Marmar. Let's end with a little bit of Sharon Moore funk.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is continue to look at what you're doing, how you're doing. I thought we did a good job of putting people in position, moving guys around, but we got to continue to do that. Continue to challenge the O-line, continue to challenge everybody in the rooms. It's not just one position, right? It's everybody. So we'll all do it together and fix it.
Guys, yeah, I think everybody's still coming down from the high from the game. Quick advertising, a little bit of quick advertising since it is the holiday season. If maybe for yourself or someone consider purchasing my book, The Engineers of Western New York Basketball Story, a sports story about what sports teach you about life as a young person. Many of the lessons that the team just learned, a big one is to keep fighting and to keep persevering no matter what happens. They could have given up on the game. They could have hung their heads and slumped over, but they kept fighting and they got the win. For my YouTube subs, I'm selling these signed copies for $27 for the hardcover and $22 for the paperback. You can use one of those payment methods like J.R. Morrison did from State College. Shout out to J.R. Morrison. And you can also go to the Big Words author store. Steve always says, show him the book, Big. Show him the book. So I can't finish these streams now without showing it to you guys. And I promise to be brief. I need a drink and some dinner, maybe a cigar after that game. This is my store. You can get to this through the link in the description box, which goes to the page for the book. I wrote a page. I created a page outlining the book. That's the price on Amazon, $35 for the hardcover, $27 for the paperback. This is available on Amazon in the ebook, hardcover, and paperback editions. But if you send me an email or if you want one through my store, Sharon Marsky is here. If you want one through my store, let me know, and I will generate I can generate a coupon code for you. We gotta get a word from Sharon Marmar before we wrap the stream up.
Yeah, I mean, you go back to last week, thought tackling was outstanding, and one of the things we really hit on beginning of the week was speed and space. Tackling their speed and space. We didn't do a good job of that, and then.
All right, give us the Marmar forensic report.
So what you think?
I think I liked the way the game started. I thought that, okay, we will win this game comfortably, and then it steadily came undone. I'm grateful that Zavada hit the game-winning field goal, but it just gradually came apart. Samaj, I don't know why he was so intent on returning that punt. I thought some of the play calling was janky, especially those reverses, and that one that led to that Andrew Marsh fumble. I hope we get Jordan back. I think if Jordan had stayed healthy, maybe
No, that's not what I meant. It's not what I meant. I said,
well, what do you mean?
I mean, you always playing that Sharon clip.
Well, you know why? See, John Stoops, we're not done yet.
Hold on.
We're not done yet.
Though, John? Hold on. So, Doc, I was just on the TJ show. I was just watching. I didn't get up on there or nothing. And they did a poll. 60% want them gone.
Okay.
Because they didn't like that. They did not like that. How you be up 21-6 and then all of a sudden it turned to a 22-21 game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
it is crazy.
And the O line wasn't blocking well for. They corrected it in the second second half. He didn't get sacked. I get that we young. I get that. I get all that. But at the end of the day, you had a bye week. It looked good, and then it unraveled. Why did it unravel? Because the mental focus ain't there. The mental focus ain't there. We got to do it all 4 quarters. Is that being preached? That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
That is all I'm saying.
Okay. I agree. I agree. Michigan, as you know, we were texting, Michigan should have been up 21-17, 21-3 at halftime. Absolutely.
20-3.
At halftime. Yep.
It should have been a 40-6 game.
That's what the stats bear out. Yeah. We
2
outgained them.
picks.
Yeah.
2 picks.
3 fumbles.
The only bright spot was Andrew Marsh. Man, did he have a game?
Yeah, he did.
So yeah.
Okay. All
I ain't
right.
got a lot to say. I'm just, it is what it is.
Uh uh okay. Well, I don't have much else to say either, man. Thanks for
I appreciate it.
all right. All right. I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you.
All right, love, brother.
All right. Peace. Enjoy the rest of your
All right,
night.
yeah, you too.
All right, everybody. We're gonna end up end with a word from Brady. And then I'm gonna go and do something else.
We understand what Michigan football means and what Michigan football is. We will always be about the team at Michigan. This is never going to be about Brady Hoke.
All right, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your night. It wasn't the win that we wanted, but it was a win. It wasn't how we wanted it, but Michigan is 8-2. So hopefully Jordan Marshall comes back. That's on my Christmas list. Go Blue. As always, remember that your attitude determines your altitude. Always try to do your best. Take care, and I will talk to you the next time. Bye-bye.